why I'm sure the Ministry will be mounting a full-scale inquiry into why the two Dementors were so very far from Azkaban and why they mounted an attack without authorization. Of course, there is someone who might be behind the attack.
They're onto me, dude. Those guys are sharp as nails up there. You can't put anything past them. Oh my God, dude, I'm freaking out. I am so stressed out. I feel like I'm having a panic attack.
You want to talk about stress? You want to talk about stress? Okay? I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac. How about that for stress?
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. If you've spent any time on Twitter, God save your soul if you have, you would know people could be a little hysterical, hyperbolic, what's another way to put it? Very mentally unstable. There are so many crazy people on Twitter, and it just seems it's a never-ending source of material. I have to say, I unfortunately love it because it just gives you so much to work with. It's instant crazy on tap. It's basically like having a live-in girlfriend. Only if that live-in girlfriend was calling you a sexist, racist, bigoted, homophobe, Nazi, or something. I don't know why you'd be dating somebody like that, but whatever. People don't usually think before they speak on Twitter, tweet, whatever, I don't care.
Ironic.
And today we're going to be talking about a case where somebody probably wishes they were a little more careful with their word selection. We have this article from Bounding Into Comics. A link for this will be in the description below. Right off the bat, I do have a critique for Bounding Into Comics. I love your work, but you forgot a very important detail about this trans activist and drag queen. Not only are they a trans activist and a drag queen, JK Wells is also a jazz hand enthusiast. Before we get even further into this shit show, if you enjoy me and want to support the content that I create, and you like these shorter, unscripted videos, please be sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to this channel if you're not already, or hey, you know what, how about you watch until the very end of this video and subscribe if you think I earned it. Most importantly, share this video around. It helps me more than you could possibly imagine. I've always said a good way to present your argument to seem rational, sane, persuasive, is to threaten physical violence to those who don't agree with you. JK Wells had the bright idea to tag JK Rowling in this tweet. JK Rowling was one of my childhood idols, but that was before she was a transphobic piece of shit. How confident is she that she's a witch that won't burn? I've got a stake that begs to put it to the test. Now, personally, I feel like JJ would like to do other things with that stake than use it on JK Rowling, but regardless of my theories on what JJ's actually doing with this giant stick,
Naughty, naughty. You teasing me, you naughty, naughty.
it's probably not the best idea to vaguely threaten somebody, and it's such a shitty, lame threat, but whatever. It's probably not great to threaten somebody online, let alone one of the biggest, most popular authors ever. You know, somebody who probably, and I'm just theorizing here, might have hundreds of millions of dollars and a ton of lawyers ready, just chomping at the bit.
They came bounding over.
And it would seem like JJ caught on to this because he then tweets out to backpedal. He says, well, to be fair, the woman in question wasn't actually being threatened with being burned alive. Hyperbolic metaphor based on her original tweet. But you know that you're playing dumb intentionally for clout. And she also is a Nazi, or at least has views that align with them. I'm convinced these people have never opened a history book. I think they just think that Hitler and people like Hitler just, you know, said mean things in the newspaper or something. I don't know the online equivalent of Twitter. I mean, maybe people were talking shit to each other using Morse code. I don't know. Just stop calling people Nazis. Stop calling people far-right extremists. Just stop using these stupid terms for things that don't apply, because when they do apply, and when there is an actual problem with extremists or actual racism, actual bigotry, it's just watered down and it's so easy to brush off because people like JJ just throw these fucking terms out like it means nothing. But this interaction that JJ had with Twitter users caught the attention of JK Rowling herself, and she had this to say. The thing about the solicitor game is everyone can play, JJ. I ignored your quote-unquote hyperbolic metaphor about burning me to death in 2020. Now I'm starting to think that was a mistake. What's your solicitor's view on this Nazi accusation? Would they advise you to defend it in court? I just love the little kissy face at the end. Just amazing. So, of course, like the mental giant JJ so clearly is, he doubled down. I guess JK Rowling tweeting just, made his wand a little stiff.
Boo this man!
I'm sorry, I had to make at least one dick wand joke. I haven't made a single one in any of my Hogwarts Legacy coverage yet. I get one free one. I don't care how shitty it is. JJ responded with, "Oh, well, we meet at last. To think you were once an icon to me. I think you absolutely have views that align with Nazis. I think relying on tropes and stereotypes is very 1930s propaganda." And what JJ is referring to here is the goblins in Harry Potter, because the goblins are the bankers, and clearly, for whatever reason, this absolute git would say that, though, that's clearly Jewish people. If you think goblins in Harry Potter are Jewish people, that says a lot more about you than it does anybody else. And it reminds me of this, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but it reminds me of when people were freaking out on Twitter about how orcs are just black people in fantasy works. Yes, it's just as stupid and kind of racist as it sounds. But oh no, of course, they're not racist. They're the progressive ones, yes, making the link between goblin bankers and orcs with black people. Hey, clearly not racist. And JK Rowling graciously throws out one last lifeline before she absolutely obliterates this idiot. She said, "JJ, if anybody close to you had your best interest at heart, they'd strongly advise you not to keep handing my lawyers ammunition." But her last tweet is really what just sends me every time. She says, "Okie dokie, JJ, we'll play it your way." Like, you know that you fucked up if somebody gives you the Ned Flanders response.
Oakley-dokley-doo.
Now here's the money shot. I think this part of the video might get me demonetized because it's just too good. Just look for yourself. JJ came back with this series of tweets. "I would like to publicly apologize for a previous Twitter thread where I interacted with JK Rowling on matters referring to the transgender community. I have now removed these tweets and would like to apologize to JK Rowling directly for causing potential upset. I failed to choose my words with care and would like to retract my previous statement relating to her views on the LGBTQ+ and more, specifically transgender people. I would also like to retract my likening to JK Rowling to any far-right or Nazi organization and emphasize I do not wish any individual, inclusive of JK Rowling, to come to any harm." That must have pained him dearly, and it is oh so sweet, because people like JJ have a misconception that they are 100% invulnerable to any kind of consequence. And that's a word that we hear a lot thrown around online, especially from the progressive crowd. Mainly when it comes to cancel culture, they like to say, "This isn't cancel culture, you're not being canceled, you're just dealing with the consequences of your actions." Well, JJ, how are those consequences treating you? And I love how in the Twitter thread that JJ put up here, this glorious testament till it can only be described as fuck around and find out. These people are just freaking out like, this is terrifying. Oh my god. Now we can't just talk shit about somebody. We can't call somebody a Nazi and try to drag their name through the mud, harm their IP. God forbid there's some consequences to your action. I thought that's what you guys wanted. Oh, sorry. That was not very inclusive of me. I thought that's what you idiots wanted. I would love to see more of this because there is just far too many people out there with the mentality that JJ had where they're untouchable. Nothing they could do would ever get them in trouble because they are so up on their moral high horse that they cannot see that they are just insufferable, terrible people. Like, they have this idea built up in their head, probably because nobody has ever sat them down and told them the world doesn't revolve around them. They have the savior mentality. So nothing they do could be bad because they are in fact the protagonist of reality. They are the main character. They think they have plot armor like Harry Potter had in the Goblet of Fire, but in reality, they're more like Cedric Diggory. I'm sorry, too soon. I know, probably too soon, but he seems like he's doing fine. He's recovered, okay? Voldemort didn't kill him. He's now Batman trying to avenge wizards. I don't know. That's gonna do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already and you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. And if you're not subscribed already, be sure to hit the subscribe button, share this video around. And before we go, I want to thank all of my amazing channel members. If you want to go the extra step above and beyond, feel free to become a channel member. But really the best way to support me in this channel is just by doing what you're doing now. Showing up, checking out the videos, and just being general badasses. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.